Lauren Culp here, the publisher and CEO at CUInsight, and I am joined by a very special guest today. Super excited to have the president and CEO of United Solutions Company, Jim Giacobbe, here with me. Jim, hi, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Lauren. I appreciate you all having me on today.
Yeah, thanks so much. Well, I'm really excited about some of the things that we've got on the list here to talk about, but let's just dive right in. First of all, I'm curious, how is United Solutions really helping to solve the needs of credit unions today?
Well, I see that the credit union needs changing so much. There was a time when I first started my career, which is going back a ways, when, it was just all about, getting more loans and being a financial institution. And now everything's going to change. The focus is a lot more on technology, and the credit unions really have to keep up. Everything has gotten so much more competitive. And one of the things I feel like we do at United Solutions is we help out with that technology. We kind of bridge that gap. As a CUSO, that's one of the reasons that the credit unions will come to us, so that they can concentrate on running a credit union, and we'll do their networking. That's part of our deal. DDoS attacks, keeping the credit union safe, cybersecurity, and getting involved in the integration points that they have and everything. So I think probably the biggest thing that we bring to the table today is really, our ability to help the credit unions with technology. We have two great core systems, but we wrap it with all these other products and services, and we kind of become that one throat to choke. If they need anything, they call United Solutions Company. We help them out with everything.
That's amazing. Well, some of the things that you're saying, technology, cybersecurity, I know these are things that credit union CEOs are, staying up at night worrying about. So I think it's amazing to hear of sort of a one-stop shop for all of these needs that credit unions have.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Yeah, some of the products, we have core systems, but we also do their optical. We do, like I said, networking. We have a shared CIO program. I also understand that the core systems will never be everything for the credit unions. There's always going to be something that the cores lack. And so what we've been doing is we've been creating our own software saying, hey, you don't need to change your core. And if I can't get the core to update it, we're going to write that software ourselves. So we've got this great, on-core suite of products that includes business intelligence and onboarding and a really robust CRM tool and things like that. So that's another way with technology. If credit unions, they don't need to know how to interface or need to interface with Salesforce, for example, which is very complicated. We're creating products and services that integrate with their core for them.
That's amazing. Well, one of the other things that I have heard that you all do really well is helping with member onboarding. And so I'm curious, can you share for the audience today, what are three of the things that you would say are the most important things for a credit union to think about during onboarding?
Yeah, I'm pretty passionate about it. I didn't realize until, a couple of years ago or whatever, how many members actually go to join the credit union. And after, 100, 150 days, they've abandoned the credit union. And, you work so hard to find new members and everything else, and then have that happen. It's just, to me, it's just terrible. And so, we know that, I guess, what do they say? First 100 days, you're going to lose 40% of those new members. There are a lot of statistics out there. But if you know that already, right, you know that that's going to happen, Lauren. Why are you not coming up with, strategies to make that, so that is not a problem? So if I were to answer, I'll give you some ways. I hope it's just three. But some of the ways is knowing your member and how they got to your credit union. Did they seek you out because they heard a lot about you because their friends are using the credit union? Are they newly out of college and with new job, they needed to come up with a place to, to put their direct deposit? Is it a family member? I know that I had, my two children, we brought them over to the credit union and got accounts for them. Is it somebody through indirect lending who, I just wanted to leave that dealership with that car, so I didn't care what credit union I was going to join, right? So, how vested am I in, being a member of the credit union? And so I think that understanding that is a really important piece. I got to know how these members came to the credit union to begin with. Another is having systems in place to make sure that you help them get all your products and services. So as an example, if I don't get a checking account, Lauren, chances are I'm not going to be one of your best members.
Right.
If I don't get home banking, if I don't get mobile, or all these other products and services, bill pay, I'm probably, a flash in the pan. I'm not going to be at the credit union long. And so I know that going in. So when somebody comes in, they go to sign up for an account, I have to have systems in place to say, hey, look, let's get you a credit card right now, or let's get you a debit card. I'm going to go to the instant issue machine and I'm going to give you one right now that you can leave the credit union and start using. I need to get you set up with mobile banking or home banking. I go to one credit union and they said, well, our members aren't really, good with technology. I said, well, so you're just going to make a decision that's okay that they're not going to get these products? I'm like, I'd have something sitting right there and I'd get them signed up and I'd show them how to use it.
Right.
So onboarding doesn't necessarily have to be all this new technology. It's just sometimes I feel like it's common sense. Other things, there are a lot of onboarding tools. I mentioned that we wrote our own. And here was the whole thought with this. For the indirect lending, a lot of the credit unions were getting new members to indirect lending. And then those members were, those loans were getting stolen, or they're just moving to their other account, or they just have that loan there and they never have anything else with the credit union, right? So what you need to do is you need to teach them how to be a good member. So the way our onboarding works is if I open up an account today and I don't get it home banking, or I don't get a draft account, or I don't get bill pay, and you as a credit union, you have to know which products you have are sticky products and what work for you, what you do well. So 10 days after they opened up their account, I'm going to send them an email. Hey, I noticed when you set up your account, you didn't get these other services. We want to be your primary financial institution. We got these great products and services for you. But some people don't react, or the email's not their best way to communicate with them. Another 10 days, send them a text message. You can do that right through our product, and there are lots of products out there that do this, saying, hey, come on into the credit union. We got all these other products and services. We just want to review this stuff with you, or we want to review your account with you. Send them a postcard, send them a letter. They're the 4 things that we do now, but you have to be persistent. I've got to make up my mind that I want Lauren to be one of the, a great member here. And I know the things that you need because I look at my business intelligence and it tells me my best members, have these products. And so that's what I'm going to try to do my best to make sure that you have those products and you're using those products.
That makes so much sense to me. And I'm curious, once you've done that, or as credit unions are implementing something like this, what would you say is a good way to measure successful onboarding?
The best way is, what we try to do is we try to marry the onboarding with business intelligence. So you need some of the hard data, right? So you need to know, how many members, are basically abandoning you after the first 100 days. Are you one of the credit unions it's 40 out of 100 are leaving, or you higher than that, or you lower than that? So once you come up with a baseline, and then you start actually using an onboarding tool or strategy, it doesn't have to be something you're spending money on. Like I said, it could just be common sense. And then you start measuring against that. Hey, so maybe the next month I only lost 30 of the 100, or maybe 20. I'm definitely moving in the right direction. And not only that, but I'm getting them to use other products and services that can produce client satisfaction or member satisfaction, and can bring in additional income to the credit union. And then what about going after some of the family members or other people that can be part of the credit union? I wrote an article not that long ago. I was talking to a credit union, and they were a university credit union, and I said, well, who could be members? And they tell me who could be members. So I said, can the boosters be members? They're like, yeah, the boosters can be a member. I'm like, what are you doing to market towards them? I mean, that's got to be a huge group, right? And they're like, oh, it's huge. But they weren't doing anything.
Wow.
Right? And so they were just doing what they'd always done. And they're kind of going after the students and the faculty at the university. And I'm like, so we got to start, thinking bigger sometimes. And then even after we went over all that, they're like, well, we're not ready, but we'll do that eventually. I don't know that they will. You have to make up your mind to change. You have to decide that you want to change what you're doing at the credit union, and you want to go after, new members, and you want to do your best to retain those members that you get, whether or not it's, people, through any one of these other channels.
That makes so much sense to me. I love the concept, even just of thinking bigger, thinking outside of what you've always done or what is traditionally done for credit unions when they think of onboarding. Well, Jim, we are almost out of time, but I want to ask, do you have any last thoughts that you'd like to share with our audience today? I know we talked about a lot of really great things, technology, cybersecurity, onboarding, thinking big, but what would you say are the last thoughts that you might want to leave the audience with today?
Probably, I know it's been said before, but, really getting to know your member a little bit better. We've been talking about programs for credit unions to reach out to some of their members. I have one credit union, and the top 25 members all have over $1 million in their account.
Wow.
Right. Big deal, right? So if they lost those 25 members, that would be a big hole. So I'm like, well, what are you doing to reach them? And they've got different habits. They're not taking out loans, but you need them there for their deposits, right? And so, are you reaching out to them on the anniversary date of their, becoming a member of the credit union? Are you thanking them for being there? Or are you reviewing their account and making sure that they're using everything? Hey, are you using mobile? Do you need help with that? You're using home banking. Do you need help with that? Just really demonstrating to your members that, you're there to help them. And I will also add this too, helping them out with the jargon. I know when I first got in the credit union industry, they're talking about draft and shares, and I was like, what? You mean checking account and savings account? They're like, oh no, an interest. They're like, no, it's dividends. And I didn't understand the terminology. Right. I do now, of course. I was back in the 80s. But I think that we also need to do a better job of educating the members to some of the credit union jargon. I think that would help.
That's such a great point. Yeah, I've had several friends who have said, what is a share draft? I don't understand.
Right.
So true.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. It's been really great to hear more about United Solutions, all of the wonderful things that you all have to offer. I know there are probably credit unions out there who want to learn more, who want to get in touch with you. So we'll put some contact information here in the post of this video so that everyone can get in touch. Jim Giacobbe, everyone, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I'm sure United Solutions will be able to take care of you. I'm Lauren Culp, and we're so excited to have had you with us today. Thanks so much, Jim. Take care.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.